Hello, and welcome to this special edition of What the Hell Just Happened? The vlog that trusts, but always verifies. I'm your host, Martin Ganapoler. This week we offer another in our ongoing survey of inept, dishonest, and morally bankrupt government officials that we like to call, Why the Hell Are You Still Here? Our subject today is the 85th U.S. Attorney General, William Pelham Barr, also known as Roy Cohn 2.0, the obese version. In the 1970s, while attending law school, Barr also worked for the CIA, or as he calls them now, the pathetic losers of the deep state. For many years, Barr worked for powerful East Coast law firms, as well as right-wing presidential administrations, including Reagan, the Bushes, and finally his current boss, Honest Don, what's his name? While working for George H.W. Bush in 1992, Barr launched a surveillance program to gather records of innocent Americans' international phone calls because, they were probably calling foreigners. Foreigners bad. And speaking of regressive civil rights beliefs, he's also been a strong opponent of a woman's right to choose how to manage her own body. When not trying to reverse settled law, he found the time to work in the private sector, as he did in the early 2000s, where he sat on the board of Time Warner and T-Mobile, or as his boss now calls them, the dishonest sleazeball enemy of the people. It was here that he became a multimillionaire in his own right. Barr's signature legal hallmark is his enduring support of the unitary executive theory. This philosophy espouses that only Republican presidents should retain broad and sweeping powers without the oversight of Congress, the Supreme Court, or the American people. We know this better as the powers of dictatorship. Among the other back alleys of his advocacy, he also strongly supports tougher criminal justice policies and longer sentences for offenders, except apparently for Roger Stone and Michael Flynn. This includes his work on behalf of the construction of privately owned and operated prisons. Under his leadership in the current administration, the Justice Department has argued to reinstate and simplify carrying out the death penalty for federal crimes and to nullify the Affordable Care Act. Now, if it's me reading the signs, I think he's making it more difficult for average Americans to get inexpensive health care while making it easier to kill prisoners. How's that for prioritizing? But perhaps the most shining aspect of Barr's glorious career was his handling of the Mueller report. While he withheld the actual report from Congress and the American people for several weeks, he nevertheless declared that it exonerated the president and his family from collusion with Russian election interference or obstructing the investigation into it. Indeed, Barr even publicly stated that the scum working for the FBI, which he now oversees, spied on then-candidate Trump. Yeah, the result was to encourage a series of victory laps for the president that lasted several weeks. Yet, despite all that exercise, Dictator Donnie didn't seem to lose any weight. Go figure. After the Mueller report was finally released, the most brilliant legal minds of our time came to the informed conclusion that, this guy Trump is as guilty as hell and needs to be impeached. Subsequently, the Republican Congress bravely hung together to acquit the president of impeachment charges, which emboldened Barr last week to officially intake the information gathered in Ukraine by the Mad Hatter of Manhattan himself, Rudy Giuliani. It's for these reasons, and many others not even mentioned here, that we must now ask Attorney General William Barr, why the hell are you still here? Thanks for watching this edition of What the Hell Just Happened, and many thanks to Uncle Max and Big Mikey for guest hosting. My producers tell me that we've lined up some other great guest hosts upcoming, so remember to check back here for those. And as always, bye for now.